Hey, so I'm back down at the hut today. I'm going to be continuing on with the roof. I'm going to need to get some more branches, just like these ones, and I'll cut them up to size and then put them in the middle between them in the roof, and then I'll get some sort of straighter, thinner sticks that are quite long, hopefully to spread the whole length of the roof, and then I'll start tying them on. So I've got enough rope, I've got my stuff here today, so let's do it. So I ran into a little bit of problem with this branch. As you can see, it's not exactly straight, it's quite bent compared to the other ones, which is like completely straight. And I wanted it to sit sort of the same way as these ones and not go down like that. As you can see, it sort of bends downwards, and if I twist it around, it bends upwards. So I want it somewhere in the middle, but if it's like that, it means that it's bent horizontally like that. But that's okay. I've remedied that by cutting the notch out of there, and then that'll sit onto the top of that joint right there, just like that, and it sits quite nicely. And that'll mean that it's not straight up there, but it'll go to the side at the top, which will be good, because then the part right here next to it, where it would go if it was straighter, that can be where the one on this side goes. So I'll need to get another branch that'll go from there up to the left of that one, and I'll make sure that that one's a lot straighter, but otherwise that one doesn't look too badly there, so sweet as. So it's pretty much the middle of August at the moment. Winter is still here, spring starts for us in September, and the leaves on the trees have finally started to come out. You can probably just see them right there. So there's a tiny sprinkling of green throughout the top of the trees here, which is a good sign. So the leaves are going to start to grow, and all the undergrowth as well will start to come up, and it'll make this hut a lot more sealed up from the outside world, because at the moment it is really open. Anyone walking past on the river could just about look in here and see it. But yeah, once the leaves come out, that'll be all good, and it'll be just like it was last summer when I started the hut. Alright, it's now raining, so I'm gonna leave it at that for today. I'll come back next week. I just got this other branch here. I'll cut that up and put it on the other side of the roof there. So as you can see, I've done pretty much all of the roof beams, all the main ones up now. I've just done the middle one here, so I've tied 3 knots with the rope, and that one's pretty good. Top one's alright, and the other one's also pretty good. These ones have loosened a bit over time. I expect these ones will as well, but they will keep holding anyway. And these middle ones as well have little notches cut out just in there, so that they will sit on a little bit nicer and won't fall off. I showed you that before. So yeah, it's pretty good. So the next thing I need to do is put some more cross beams over the roof. So using this piece as an example, I'm going to need to get some more thin straight sticks like this and cut them off and bring them out here, cut them to the right length, and then tie them onto the roof like that. So I'm going to need to get quite a few of them, and I'm not sure how I'm going to tie them on, but yeah, that's what I need to do next. So what I'll need to do is get tons more of these, so they go from there just to the middle one, and I'm only doing them probably to the middle one because then they can be a shorter length and I won't need to worry about them not being straight enough and long enough to get to the other end. That's what I also did with the other hut when I used to do that one, but I didn't get much further with that. So yeah, I need to get tons more of these. I'll probably end up with lots of these really crooked ones as well, but that's all good, as long as I've got heaps of straight ones, so there's plenty of them around. This is just a test of how they'll go when they're on the roof. I'm not sure how I'm going to attach them to the roof beams. One way I've just thought up was by having this rope sort of looped all the way down, and then every second loop it does, it comes around twice, forming a little nice little jutting out piece at the top where the stick can like sit in and it won't go down. So if it's on the other side, it will just fall down. So if it's on the knot, it won't. It'll just sit there. I'm not sure how good that'll work because obviously the rope will come looser over time and may even break, and then these will have nothing to grab onto. So another thing I might probably end up doing is just cutting little notches, little sort of triangles into all these roof beams, and then having these sticks sitting in those notches, maybe tied on as well, just as a precaution as well, and then they will provide, well, they will stay on and they will provide the roofing that the tiles will hopefully be going onto. So that's what I hope to do. And I might just test it out over this side of the hut by cutting a notch in here and over in the middle one, and then I'll put the little stick through it and see how good it works. And here it is. So I'll cut the notch in there and down there, and as you can see that sits pretty nicely in there. Same with this end, so that's not going to go anywhere if the branch is sitting in there. Not sure if I'd need to tie it up or not, but the tiles could sit on that quite happily. I think I'll go through with doing this. It does take a while to cut the notches in, and by wiggling it with the saw while I'm cutting it, the rest of the structure and all the other knots are also wiggling, and might be loosening the knots a bit, but I'll try and make sure that doesn't happen too much anyway, so I'll end up doing this around the whole roof. And so I'm finished for today. I've just got in all of these sticks here, and they're just gonna go across the beams like I said before. And yeah, it's been a good day, nice and productive. I'll carry on with cutting the notches like before and putting these beams in, and then cutting more, and then continuing on with that until the roof is covered like that. So sweet as, it's going all good.